guys, how you doing? It's Henry. I'm Mowers and Blowers. How's everybody doing? So, you guys remember this. It's one of those personal pace Toro recyclers. Engine runs good. Everything works. The only reason why it's out today and I haven't listed it is because this deck is dusty. I got this from one of my friends in, I believe it was Motherload 37. I don't even remember, but we tried this out and we got this engine running and self-propulsion works, everything works, right? It's the kind with the clutch system too, which is really pretty expensive actually. But this deck was preventing me from listing it because I was going to wait for another deck. But to get a deck that accommodates the clutch system may be very complicated to get in the future, you know what I mean? So, I was talking to my friend Jason over at Pate's Performance, and he had a video about how he used Jbweld quick steel putty, and he sealed these holes and essentially welded it with Jbweld, right? Grinded it down, painted over it, and it looked great. But I don't know, these holes are really big. You can't just squeeze putty in there because your finger will go right through the hole, you know? It's not like these. These I can understand. You can put putty on the top and putty on the bottom and then grind it down after it dries and cures. These holes are really big. So I got this tin from an old engine. I think it's a push mower. 12E114. It's like an older Briggs engine, you know? It's a tin off of it. I have some flat pieces here I can cut and weld it to the bottom so it gives it that structure. And then I could putty over it, then grind it down, then repaint it. And then that would be almost good as new. You just hope that the person buying it doesn't look underneath. Of course, I would try to make it as presentable as possible if I had to paint the bottom too, you know. But either way, I'm going to give it a whirl. I'm going to cut these pieces to fit, stick weld it to the bottom. That way it gives me structure. Clean all this up, grind all the paint off and the yucky duct tape over here, and then put putty on it and see what happens. So first I'm going to take a wired wheel and just take off all the duct tape and the paint, get it to it being clean and prepare it for some welding. I want to do something that I've never done before on the channel in 5 years. As you guys know, I am a first-generation Chinese American. My parents are immigrants from China. They came when they were in their teens, and I grew up with speaking a little bit of Mandarin Chinese at home. And so I wanted to teach you guys a little Chinese. So today it's very hot. How to say hot in Mandarin Chinese? Re. Re. R-E, but you have to say it the way I say it. You can't say re, or you can't say r. You have to go r. You have to have that tone going upwards. R. Today is hao re. Hao, H-A-U. Hao re. Very hot. There, you just learned some Chinese. You can go outside to your neighbor now and go, hao re. They'll be like, yeah, it is hot. So you saw what I did in time lapse. It was hard because even at the lowest setting of the stick welder, I put it down to like 30, and then I had to put it up a little higher, otherwise it wouldn't even burn. It's because it's not cleaned enough, you know, and so it fries the sheet metal pretty easily. But all I needed was a structure on the bottom, you know. I'll just play with it. At least we have some kind of structure on the bottom so we can put the Jbweld on the top, almost acting like Bondo, you know. Over here I noticed that it was cracked, so I welded the crack. We'll grind that down to shape and repaint it, but it's now pretty good actually. So flipping it over, as you can see, it's looking better. There's the bottom part that's been covering. This is the structure, so now instead of shoving steel sticks in a hole, it actually has somewhere to stop. So we'll just put this quick steel sticks, whatever, right over here, kind of like putty. This hole is going to be difficult. I don't want to weld another thing because it may cause more problems. I'm just going to get a layer. You know, I'm going to knead it like a pancake or something. Just put it over, push it down a little bit. Then I took the wheel off so I can clean this out better. And I noticed that there's a crack here. So I'm going to have to weld the inside of that, grind it down. And did a little bit more scraping of loose, rusted areas. Scraping paint off. It's a process. We'll see. So here it is. Jbweld SteelStiks. I've never tried this before. Like I said, I saw Jason do it in his videos. He told me to wear gloves, but I feel like I can knead it better without gloves on. Set time 5 minutes. See, it's wrapped up in this plastic, and on the inner core there's like this black, which is the activator, I guess. And then when you knead it, knead as in K-N-E-A-D, kneading dough, not kneading it. Well, I do knead it, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I guess you just take a little bit and make like Play-Doh ball, a ball of Play-Doh. And I guess we'll try this part right here first. I'll just pinch like a bunch like that and knead it like putty. Then it activates, the black part activates with the gray part, turns into this color, just like Jbweld usually works. And right now it's pretty pliable, you know, like Play-Doh. But it's going to harden like steel in 5 minutes. So I better get cracking. I don't know if this is going to work, but you know what? I'm willing to try it once, you know? I want to get like the bottom too because I'm pushing. See? There you go. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be sticking. Like it doesn't want to stick. And I would think that you feel like some heat, but I don't. Just gonna go along there. So there you go, guys. I wish I had some more because I feel like this is too low over here. But you know what? I have regular Jbweld, so after I sand this down when it's fully cured, I'm gonna give it a day or so. I'm gonna grind these welds nice and clean. All right, it's 2 days later. I know, this video is taking like 5 days to make. But you know what? I just piece in everything I do every day. So it's really hot today. Today's like 93. Ready? Together. 好热. Very good, students. Anyway, so this turned out pretty well. I mean, looks like hell, but it's definitely sealed. And it's hard. Actually, this part here is not that hard. But I'm gonna see if I can just like sand it smooth. What do you think? Watch, the whole thing just sands away and I gotta start all over. But you know, just doing this is not gonna do it. I need like a motorized sander. Of course, I had a bunch of sanders from reviews, but I never used them, so I gave them away to my neighbors and friends. You never know when you're gonna need it, when you need it, you know? I think a grinder would be too harsh for this. And it would grind away big chunks of it just like that, you know? But I'll try this first, and if I have to grind it, I'll grind it. And then once I grinded it smooth, the chunks that have disappeared or the dips in it, I'll fill with regular Jbweld. I'll mix together the epoxy and just go over it with a squeegee and sand it again. This is what it looks like dry. If you guys hear wind, it's because I have my huge fan on. I'm wearing this silly thing. So I mean, look, it's hard, like steel. I guess that's why they call it Jbweld, eh? There you go, fellas. Grinded down some rusty spots over there and did a nice thin layer of Jbweld. You guys saw how he did it. I just plopped them there, plopped it there, the hardener and the steel, mixed it on the repair, and then used a spackle tool, whatever, and you know, smoothed it out. So that should cover most of the dips and the rough patches. Grinded down the welds over there. I don't know, man. Looks like hell right now. I mean, it looks better, you know. I figured once this cures for a full day, I want to cure it for a full day. Then hand sand it smooth. Then spray some primer on it. Spray some sunrise red over it. I mean, this side of it's going to look much newer than this side, but whatever. No, I'm not taking off the wheels and the height adjusters and the engine and that. I'm not doing that. I've spent enough time on this damn thing as it is. I just wanted to try doing this, plugging rotted holes with Jbweld and SteelStik. I just wanted to try it to see if I could do it. You know, I want to be able to say that I did it before. Would I recommend doing it ever again? No. I'm not going to work 5 days on this silly thing, you know what I mean? I just wanted to do it so I know that I've done it before. And to know that I won't ever do it again. I mean, look, there are instances where it might be just one small rotted hole. That would be easy to do. But the entire part here was rotted. So this was a challenge, you know? And I don't know, it looks way better than before. I think I might be able to salvage this, sell this for $150, $200 maybe, you know, just as long as people don't look underneath. I'll clean up underneath and spray it black, you know what I mean? And then I'll spray this red. So it should look very nice. Hey guys, day 7 of the video, day 3 of repairing the rod. So as you saw, I put Jbweld, the regular stuff, over the Jbweld SteelStiks, which had some ditches. Hardened really nicely. I'm just going to sand it down nice and smooth, and we'll give it one coat of red paint. Now the red paint may not match the paint perfectly, but we'll see how it goes. Giving you a look at what it looks like today. Big difference from when it had the huge gaping holes, eh? It is nicer. There you go, fellas. Did a quick masking, you know, just covering things up. Took the front wheel off. Took 3 bolts out of there to hold that rear baffle cover off, just so that the bolts aren't red. You know what I mean? Then when you just, I don't want to move it, because I want to just put the bolts back in without anything moving, and everything fits just properly. Look at that. Woohoo! Not perfect, of course, but pretty damn good compared to what it looked like before. I mean, it was a lot of work, don't get me wrong. I spent like 3 days doing this, but I wanted to try it, you know what I mean? But I think it looks fabulous, don't you? Look at that. It matches pretty well, too. I told you guys. Sunrise red, baby. Anyway, this new cap they have sucks. You can do like a spray that's like that, a spray that's like that, and then the regular spray. But the regular spray was blocked, so it didn't work. So I had to use the vertical kind. And it just drips all over. It sucks. Did a little bit here, did a little bit of a, you know, overspray, you know, a little bit of a blend to the regular, so I didn't have to, you know, you go like this, you know, so that it kind of blends. So I'm just going to let it dry, put the wheels back on, and maybe I'll take a look at the bottom and spray it black or something like that. I don't know. I don't expect people to not look underneath and see the, you know, repaired part. I guess if I used it a little, it'll be covered with grass. But that would be getting over on somebody, you know what I mean? So I don't even know what I'm going to do. Do I reveal that it's been repaired, or do I not reveal it? Leave it in the comments. What do you guys think? Honest, dishonest, used car salesman ploy, you know? When this fully dries, I'll show you guys what it looks like on the bottom. So while I'm waiting for paint to dry, it's looking really good. I emailed Rust-Oleum and told them how sucky their 5-in-1 nozzle is. Anyway, so here's the bagger. Pretty clean, but it's got a rip over here. As you guys know, I like using, I mean, I don't like doing it, but I do it. I have this like really thin steel wire. I have a spool of it, you know, I just cut a little bit off. It's so thin that it's like string, just strong. So I'm just gonna use my hands and just do that. And you know, there's a couple like burns and stuff and rips. That you can't really do anything, just leave that alone. But the major rip over here in the corner, you know, I could try to patch that up a little bit, you know. I gotta wait for the paint to dry anyway. There you go. Pretty tight. good enough. Niceage. Well, looks like this video is gonna take 8 days. Gonna let it dry out in the sun for a day or so, and then we'll put the wheels back on and wipe it down some more, and then list it for, well, let's wait and see what it looks like first. All right, well, back to this then. So, looking at it after the paint is dried, it's not perfect. Looks pretty good, but you could tell by the swirling that it's not completely flat because it's not perfectly flat. But it looks super, doesn't it? Off camera yesterday, I also noticed that I forgot to do that. So I grinded that down and painted that area too. So today I'm just gonna put the wheels back. Well, let me flip it over and see what that other underneath looks like. Okay, here's what underneath looks like. As you can see, you have the remnants of the welding, the plate, as well as the Jbweld steel sticks. Doesn't look too bad. I think maybe I'll just spray it black and, you know, use it so that grass covers it up. Other than that, it looks okay. Well, there it is, fellas. It's all put back together again. 8 days doing this thing. I don't know. It was a lot of work, and you know, I mean, it looks pretty good. Looks better than before, but I don't know if you can get away with still selling it without telling them that it's been repaired. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just put some gas in it. When I put it upside down to the side and stuff, there's a lot of oil that I saw that leaked into the carburetor, so it may not start. But we'll try it anyway. Get the gas to filter out the oil and we'll blow it out. So, now I remember. I thought that the gears or the teeth on the wheels were stripped, but in reality, it's the worm gear in the gearbox that's stripped. I'm pretty sure of it. So, it doesn't have self-propulsion. So after all that, I mean, engine runs good and clutch system works and all that stuff. Wheels are in pretty decent shape, and now the deck looks great, right? Has a nice bagger, but self-propulsion still doesn't work. So, you know, should I open it up and see? So after I took the gearbox cover off, I noticed that the gears were good. Look at the worm gear and that main gear. It's in good shape. So then I wondered what the hell's going on. These little washers there that came off, they're just little rubber things that go on this side, no big deal. This gear is good. And then I looked over here and I said, well, those gears look okay. I mean, they're a little flattened, you know what I mean? But it still has that area where it could grip. So then I took this out because I had them from a review from a while ago and I never had one of these. So I whipped these out. Let's compare the gears. So here's the new wheel. You see a difference? There's quite a difference. This is a lot pointier, right? So maybe these gears are bad. So if I just change the wheels, maybe the self-propulsion will work. I mean, I was saving these wheels for this mower. I didn't pay for them, got it for free. Free! By the way, have you guys seen that Subway commercial?
I'll get a free footlong at Subway, like the Subway series menu. Buy 1 footlong in the app, get 1 free.
For free!
That's what I'm talking about.
They stole my motto. Free!
For free!
Well, somebody was gonna steal a good idea, huh? As long as you guys know that I said it first. All right, change the new wheels. Now the self-propulsion should work. Nice, finally. Super clean. There you go, Toro recycler, the 7.0 Briggs quantum engine. We did a lot of stuff to it. Has the clutch system on there, fixed the rot with Jbweld, replaced the rear wheels, so now the self-propulsion works. Before this episode, we actually cleaned the carb and got it running well, and I did some painting on the handles and cleaned it up really nice. Because there's evidence of the deck being patched up, you take the risk of showing it to somebody who actually looks underneath. 9 out of 10 times they don't look underneath, but I'll list this for $275. Clutch system, personal pace, top of the line mower at the time without the key start, right? Decent bagger, has the mulch, automatic mulch thingamajig, pretty good. So yeah, we'll see if we can get 275 for it. Thanks a lot for joining me on this really long episode that took 8 days to finish, along with some other stuff. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.